Do you want to rank number one on Google? Well, I hate to say it, it's actually really hard. 10 years ago, it used to be really easy, but now it's hard. And you know what? Unless you watch this whole video, you're not going to be able to rank number one on Google. Hey everyone, I'm Neil Patel, and today I'm going to share with you 3 ways you can rank number one on Google today. I got started in SEO when I was 16 years old. I created a website called Advice Monkey. It no longer exists. If you search for it, you're not going to see my website. It was a replication and a shitty replication of Monster.com. And when I created the website, I thought, oh cool, this is it. People are going to come to my site and I'm going to get traffic. But you know what? I popped up the website and no one came to it. From that point, I realized there was something called SEO that I had to do. I paid a few marketing firms to help me with search engine optimization so that way I could rank number one on Google for terms like job search. But you know what? I gave them money and I got no results. Eventually, as a 16-year-old kid, I lost all my money. You only can make so much money cleaning restrooms and picking up trash. So I had to learn it. But when I first started, it was as simple as putting the keywords on your website and you could rank. I wish it was that easy these days. Number 1, focus on content. See, Google has this update called Hummingbird. And with Hummingbird, what they decided to do is websites who just have content on everything won't do as well as websites who focus on one single niche and are super thorough. For example, let's say you have a website around dating. If you have a website around dating and your article is, let's say, talking about 5 ways you can land a date, or 5 ways you can land your dream date. If you end up breaking down, hey, go to Match.com, sign up, and you'll find a match after you create a profile, you're not going to do that well. But if you write an article that breaks down how to create a profile on Match.com, the ideal picture, the ideal description, how to be funny, how to even maybe add video. I don't know, I haven't been on these dating sites in ages. But if you go really in depth and you break down every little thing that they should do, and then after you break down Match.com, you then talk about Tinder, you then talk about Bumble, you then talk about eHarmony, all the other platforms. You then even discuss how you should respond to people and engage with them. Should you be hitting people up? What's the first thing you should say to them? How should you respond? Where should you go for your first date, right? How to carry from your first date and ask them on a second date. But if you're super thorough and your content is so amazing that people are like, wow, I read this article, I don't have any more questions, and I know what to do next. That's how thorough you need to be. So poke holes in your content, and as many holes as you can, and fill them all up, so then that way, people are like, this is the end-all site that you should end up reading if you're interested in dating online. Actually, what's funny, I wish dating was this easy when I was younger. I couldn't just swipe an app like Tinder and find the next match. I was sitting next to my buddy Terry the other day, and he kept swiping on Tinder, and he's like, check this out, swipe, instant match, swipe, instant match. 30 plus matches within a few minutes. But back in my days, you would have to go to a bar and meet people and actually talk to them. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go into the second tip if you want to rank number one on Google. The second tip I have for you is optimize your title tag and your meta description. Have you ever done a Google search and noticed that every time you do it, there's this link at the top and then there's this one sentence? Well, the link at the top is called a title tag and the description below is called a meta description. Now think of it this way. If you search for the phrase online dating and you don't see the word online dating in either the title or the description, are you going to click on the result? Well, if you are, there's something wrong. Because why would you click on a result that isn't related to what you're looking for? In addition to that, have you ever done a search for a term like online dating and have you ever noticed that the word isn't in the title or description? That's because Google tracks who's clicking on what listing. And they've learned that when a keyword is in the listing, the same keyword that you're searching for, they know you're way more likely to click through. So in your title tag and your meta description, make sure you include the keyword. But you can't just include the keyword like online dating, right? The easiest way, what I would do, and I wish it was this simple, I would just put online dating, online dating, online dating, online dating. If I could put it 20 times so people would know that the article's on online dating, I wish I would get more clicks. But it's not that simple. Yes, you have to include the keyword in your title and your description, but it has to be appealing. If it doesn't flow in a sentence, it's not easy to read, and it's not appealing or evoking curiosity, no one is going to click through. The third thing I have for you is to use Google Search Console. Did you know that Google gives you a tool that teaches you how to rank number 1 on Google? Yes, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it is true, and it's called Google Search Console. If you're not already a user of it, sign up. It doesn't cost $1. You're missing out if you're not using it. I can't emphasize that enough. So now that you're using Google Search Console, give it a few days because it takes some time to populate data. You'll see a screen that shows Search Analytics, and this shows you all the pages on your website that are getting you traffic. But the cool thing about Google Search Console is they also show you which articles are getting impressions. And here's what I mean by impressions. You know, when you do a search on Google, you don't always click through on a result, right? If you did, then you would be clicking through on 10 results every time you did a search. That would be insane. What Google shows is how many people are seeing your listing and clicking through, and how many people don't click through. So they show you how many impressions you're getting, the clicks, and the click-through rate. And what you'll find is, in general, you're lucky if you're getting around a 5% click-through rate, sometimes 10, 15, but in most cases, most of your pages are gonna be getting less than 5% click-through rate. Now, the cool part about Google Search Console is they show you all the keywords that you're getting impressions for and all the ones you're getting clicks for. Now, remember the first tip was about content thoroughness, and you want an article that talks about everything under the sun? Well, you can use Google Search Console to tie in back to the first tip. So kind of number 1 and 3 are related, in which you want to take all the keywords you're getting impressions for and start adding them to your copy. Now, don't just shove them in and have your content be keyword rich where, you know, someone reads it and all it is online dating, Tinder, eHarmony, dating online, meeting someone from online dating, right? If someone was reading your article and it sounded just like that, they're gonna bounce off your site because that means your content sucks and it just has too many keywords. It has to flow naturally and be educational. So you wanna take those keywords that you're seeing in Google Search Console and add them to the article. Now, we have an article on Instagram, and it teaches you how to get over 300 targeted Instagram followers per day. That article is around 10,000 words. When I first wrote that article, it wasn't 10,000 words, it was roughly 2,500. I went to Google Search Console, I saw all the people that are searching for terms related to that article, I added them within that article, I made it more thorough, and you know what? My traffic more than tripled to that article. Yes, it is that simple. And when I made that change, it didn't happen right away, but I noticed the results within 50 days. That's not a long time. So now let's recap on the tips. 1, make your content super thorough. 2, make sure you include the keywords within your title tag and meta description, but also when you're doing your title and description, make sure you're evoking curiosity and you're creating an amazing title that everyone wants to read and click through. And number 3, use the free tool that Google gives you that'll help you rank number 1. That's Google Search Console. Use those 3 things and you can rank number 1, not just in the future, but also right now. Now that you've learned these 3 tips, I challenge you, in which I want you to take these tactics and implement them. And then after you implement them, in the next 45 days, I want you to leave a comment with your results. Because if you're not doing well, that means I'm not happy, and I know these tactics work, and that's why I'm challenging you. Because if you implement them, you're gonna see results, and you're gonna be ecstatic, and your life is going to change. And I wanna build a community of like-minded people where we all take action and we help each other grow. So I challenge you to take action and implement these 3 steps. Now granted, I know you may be busy and you may not be able to do all of them right away, but just pick one. It doesn't have to be time consuming. Pick one of them, make the change. Maybe you can start with the second tactic because that's the easiest one. Implement it and you can start seeing results right away. So make sure you subscribe to this video and this channel, and I'll see you in the next video, and we'll keep helping each other grow.